Hello and welcome to my desk. Well, this is the last day in the World Watercolor Month Challenge 2024, and I've been working in this homemade journal. Works like a flap out, you could call it like a lab book style, where each three signatures looks somewhat the same, where I got a signature sewed into the cover of the booklet, and then I got this flap right here, a pocket, and then I also got some pocket variation styles in each three of the books. And on the balcony up here of each flap, I have painted my love for Minions. Yeah, you can see like this can like flap out, so it's such fun to work with this. And all the books lies totally flat, you know, so it's very nice way of working. But maybe I should pull out my Minions so we could look at the different kind of Minions that I have managed to have fun with doing this month. And then, you know, Despicable Me is coming out with a new movie with a pun on Minions being like Men in Black. So of course I got like the Men in Black in suits. But here are my Minions, and I love them a bunch. Of course, I got a banana on this one here. So yeah, they're so cute. It's just tiny tags. It takes no time to paint it, and I used some shimmery paint for the suit here. I don't know if it shows up, but it just looks so gorgeous. But let me put them back into its place. This month I wanted to have a lot of collage elements in my journal, and I also wanted to use up a bunch of my stickers and all sorts of strange things. So I also have all the prompts spelled out in lettering stickers to use them up. And I think that what I want to do in this stream here is not focus so much about calling out the prompts. I'm just gonna flip through my small booklets, because I have to confess that I added extra pages to this cute journal because I wanted it to last longer. So this is, for instance, the prompt huddle, and you'll see a lot of rub-ons going on some of the pages. And I really had fun this year just having this journal with like no rules, so I can have a mix of collage and text, and then using my letter stickers where I ran out of the letter S, so I added a C instead of, so some of them are like really creative done. And I also used gel pens on top of my watercolor drawings, so it's kind of a mixed media thing. This is a shout out to Romany's Realm. She has One Book July project going on in this month here, and her logo is One Book July Mind the Gap, so I wanted to honor her by putting a page spread from her into my journal because she means a lot to me. She was very like inspiring to watch while I was still planning. And this is a shout out to Janet M. Young and her crack art, where I used gel pens also. So what's going on in this little journal is a lot of joy mixing in rub-ons next to my drawings, because I think they kind of, you know, look cute together. Oh, I got the letter U escaping me. This is supposed to be Rusty. And not all prompts are worked on like thoroughly. Some are fast, depending on how much time I had that day to do the prompts. But I have really had a lot of fun, you know, just spending time in this little journal here. Here I'm watching some Bicycle from Gio d'Italia, so I created this extra page. And this is the prompt huddle. Isn't it just cute? It is so cute. And then I used, most of the coloring is done with this little wooden palette here, where I got shimmer added to my Daniel Smith paint. So it gives this little sheen of shimmer that I can see very clearly, but I'm not sure that it shows up on stream. And then on days where I didn't have a lot that I wanted to do, I just, you know, had fun making tags and decorating with all sorts of stickers. So it's been like a multi-mixed media journal. This is an envelope where there are some cards in. And then I also had an excuse to use up letter stickers that just coordinated with color. So all in all, I'm very content about this year's challenge. I think I ended up with a super cute looking journal. This is the prompt scratch, where I put in rub-ons and made some scratchy lines on. And like I said, some of these are extra pages. Like this is an extra page where I used a rub-on and then just painted the background. And this is also a rub-on this bike here, but the prompt is arch. This is the prompt spiral, and I wanted to use this funky rub-on. I don't know if it's like AI art, but look, there's like 2 of these. Isn't it crazy? I think it's a mistake. I think it only needed like 1 sprout. But I just wanted it right there, you know, because I think it's a crazy rub-on. First, I had to do like the prompt vitamin, but I wasn't in the mood for painting that day, so I later on painted this instead as a vitamin C. So some of the prompts are not on their page where they're supposed to be, but they, you know, are further in the journal. I love this page spread here. It's very watercolory, you know, like loose watercolor style. A lot of built-up values in the yarn itself. So this page spread here speaks a lot to me when it comes to showcasing what the medium watercolor can do with like loose interpretation of what you're drawing. So I like that a lot. I think I shared this on a live stream, and I love this texture here. Also, what watercolor can do. That kind of messy granular texture. It's so nice. These are like real leaves glued into my journal. And this is the prompt record. I didn't really know what to do other than just a record. Some pots. And also here using granulation. So that's one of the things that's so likable about the medium watercolor, is that you can get them to do granulation. The prompt striped, how could I not make a minion in a prison suit? I mean, it was just, yeah, meant to be. This is the prompt filter. And this is an example of one of those days where I'm in a hurry and don't really have anything done, but I just used a rub-on, and the prompt is pull, and then I drew a hand pulling out one of the lavenders cut out from here from the rub-on. So you don't have to create something like every single day if you're in a hurry, because, you know, it's your own journal. But just a little something something makes it all just being fun. And this is the last little booklet here where the minions, Men in Black minions are. I think this one is so funny. And you know what I'm thinking when I see this little guy here? Like, he would be like the perfect sniper, right? Because when you're aiming at something, you need to close one of your eyes, but he only got like one eye, so I think he cannot really stay focused. But this is the last journal little booklet. This is the prompt title, where I tried to do like a little boat showing that the water has resided. And this is one of the extra drawings that I pasted in this just watercolor paper that I pasted in using a piece of vellum. And I love to decorate with washi tapes on the edge and then use the matching colors for my painting, because I think it just looks so beautiful. It looks so pretty. Love it a lot. A lot of joy working in a small journal like this is when it becomes pretty to look at. So it kind of feels like eye candy to opening and do your own flip through of the pages. Effervescent was a difficult prompt for me to understand, so I just made a tablet dissolving itself in water. I don't know if I understood the prompt correctly. And I watched the opening of the Olympic game in Paris, and they had this Olympic flame hoisted up 7 meters in an air balloon, and then Celine Dion was singing one of Edith Piaf's songs called A Hymn to Love. So I wanted to make like a luminous shading of her using a gold watercolor, like shimmery gold, because the prompt is luminous, and I really love this page, but it's among one of my favorites, you know, that effect with the backlight made in shimmer. So this I'm really I really like that a lot. And this is just the prompt global, because I was thinking we can have a different kind of countries and different kind of weathers, but what's united for all of us is when we look at the moon. So I think a global thing for all of us would be how we can see the moon. So I was thinking like that and made that my prompt. This is the prompt obstacle, and it's from Victor Hugo's book A Trip to the Moon. I was thinking perfect, you know, like having an obstacle in your eye. But also, you know, I love the minions. There is nothing speaks more chaotic and giving you obstacles, having to manage and hurt a bunch of minions. So I made these. And then the sweet was the prompt, and I could not resist making more minions because I really think they're super sweet. So here I am trying to do a more loose style with a lot of splatters, because that's also a watercolor style, like a little bit of abstract, a lot of messy bleeding into each other on the paper colors. So it's very likable to look at when it's done nicely, but it can turn out to be a real mess if you don't do it, you know, if you don't get careful about creating mud. And the prompt Serenity I chose to depict a violin, because music, and especially some classic music, gives me a feeling of serenity, and I feel very relaxed when I listen to music. So I try to carry on my wish of trying to get to know that loose style by having like a soft edge and hard edge, and then letting the color bleed outside the lines. And I think this was a very likable little drawing to make, and it kind of is nice having a challenge like this where you are motivated to drop in small practice paintings when you want to work with a very particular style. This is the prompt deck, and it is a little bit boring. I didn't know what to paint, so I just painted a deck. And today is the last day of the challenge, and the prompt is shell, and I have yet to paint that. And here I'm having extra pages in my journal before it finish off. So I just took a rub-on and then tried to make my rendition of it, just having fun like that. And then I got an extra page pasted in with a small hinge on the vellum piece of paper. And then on the very last page, I think a big thing about working with watercolors is also swatching. So I did want to include a swatch page in my little journal, because me swatching out colors is yeah, part of the fun. So I chose to swatch out Euphoria palette from Jane Davenport on this last page here. And that's the end of the journal. But it's been such fun. Time flew so fast. I had a lot of fun, especially working with this flap out style. There is a lot of real estate to look at and to have fun with, and journaling, tags, pockets, envelopes, using up stickers, using up ephemera pieces. So all in all, I am very, very motivated in trying to make a bigger journal like this for, you know, just playing with watercolor and not just for this challenge. So yeah. But the last prompt I think I will do together with you guys here. And I did paint a little bit, you know, I have that last sheet, so I did paint this cute fox inspired by Mike Jacobson. He's so cute. I like him a lot. Very cheery. And then I only have this page left where I might be journaling a little bit about the whole challenge, because I really liked it this year. I'm thinking about why not try and pick a seashell and then work with it as some sort of a still life. So I grabbed this one. It's a genuine one, and it's very like, sounds like porcelain, and when you put your ear here, you know, you can kind of hear this everlasting humming. It's very strange. And then I took out my Graphitint pencils, because I kind of forget including watercolor pencils in watercolor drawings in general. You know, like I rarely just do 100% pencil drawing. It's always a mix of something else. So I thought that I would give it a try with the pencils as a starter, and then maybe get some help from watercolor to fill out the paint. Now I'm looking for what is the most attractive angle, so I have to ponder about that a little bit, also with the light. Yeah, I think this is the most interesting position. I'm gonna look at it from this angle here, so what I'm drawing is not the angle that you're seeing it from above, but I'm just gonna leave it on the table so you can see it, because now I am sketching. I think I like to mist my page a little bit. When did you see how I just sporadically mist my page, but not everywhere? It means that my pencil is going to suddenly drop into some wet area where the line is getting more saturated, and get like a change of its expression, and I like that a lot. I also like to mist the lines after I draw them in, because I think they change their color when they are wet and have been misted. So sometimes watercolor pencils look a little bit dull when they are put down, and then as soon as you wet them, it's like they become more like brighter. Yeah, bright is a good description. Okay, I'm a little bit quiet now because I am sketching. Surprise, surprise. I'm not so good at multitasking. But basically I am just looking more at the shell than on my page. So it's like drawing in blind, you know, you got your eyes fixed on a special line. So it's gonna be a little bit out of proportion, but I'm gonna correct it up, hopefully, I guess. And then it have this and then these marks here are like really of course I'm not aiming for one-to-one because I don't like to do realism like that. I think I get annoyed with the realism because it just don't really speak to me to get a picture perfect rendition of what I'm making. And it's nothing to do with that I dislike the style, not at all. It's just not what brings me fun, you could say. And you know, I do all this drawing, and I do all the art for fun. It has to be an element of entertainment for myself in it, otherwise it becomes like a task, like a chore. But sure, sometimes I do dig in and spend an awful lot of time on just one drawing because I think there are an element in it that I can learn from. So I do zone in on some drawings more than others. But honestly, mostly it's I paint for the joy of painting. And this is actually how I view this shell. And then I need some line work. I also feel that there are these it's funny, you can see how it has been growing from time to time. I don't know if one section is representative of 1 year. You know, like rings in a tree. But you can surely tell that the Fibonacci rule is at play here, you know, with the way that it skips. It's like it's following a pattern, and then it has a slight variation where it skips to a new ring and then picks up the same pattern until the Fibonacci makes it change a little bit. You know, like this layer here is maybe like 1 year, that is 1 year, and that's 1 and 1, so you can kind of see. Okay, now I'm gonna mist it. And it brings out some of the line work. And then there is a lot of marks on this one. Seems to be like something you can do with a slanted tip of a pencil. You know, I'm working on a wet surface, so the water's gonna dissolve the tip of my pencil, so I can come in just by slanting the pencil and make my marks. You also have to remember when the paper is wet, it becomes more fragile, so coming in working with a hard tip will just make your paper vulnerable, and most likely you can poke through the paper actually if you're doing it with pressure, you know, like drawing with pressure. The good thing about painting a seashell from nature is that there is like no real face it, like you cannot do it wrong. Okay, maybe you can do like the shape kind of wrong, you know, it has to be like a funnel, but in general all these lumps and texture on the outside, I mean, you can really freestyle a bunch until you just end up with something that you like. Same like if you were like painting rocks. There's nobody who can come and say that that rock you just made don't exist in nature, you know? I can see some specks inside this shell that I'm just trying to get here. I'm still working on a slanted angle with my pencil. This here could be more wet. I hope the camera picks up how different the graphite behaves when you're working on a wet surface compared to when you try and pull it onto a dry surface. There are these upgoing line works. I'm thinking I want to introduce a purple because my journal has been very purple. Like purple is a color that's been on a lot of pages, so I just want to pull in a hint of the purple. Maybe right there. Could have like a purple mark, and up here maybe. This part here is kind of shaded. Okay, I think I'm content with the pen work so far. Since it's a white shell on a white piece of paper, I think I want to introduce some color that kind of match a little bit the washi tape that I have used, just to, you know, make the white stand out even more. So instead of just having a unified color for the background, I think I'm gonna plot in different colors of green. It also gives me a chance to not paint green on where I want white highlights to be, so it's easier to make highlights. So far I think maybe I should go like really dark up here. Maybe that's not even dark enough. How about this dark? Perfect. Because up here we have like a shiny white edge. That's what I see, at least. And to make that really pop, I feel that I need a dark background to pull that illusion through. And down here there's like no light, so I can actually depend on just painting up towards the line work. And now I need to kind of merge those two colors together somehow. Maybe with the help of some water, I was thinking. Maybe yeah, I really like this this loose rendition we got going on. I got some shadows. I got two light sources, one coming from here and one coming from above. So I got casted light this way that's like super dark in my shadows, and then I got a form, a ghostly shadow going this way here, which is really weird. But sometimes things get interesting when they have more than one light source. So I want to go back to a lighter color here on the bottom, because then the dark shading will stand out more. So let's maybe this happy green over here. I think it's okay that I'm not painting like from edge to edge. Now I need to come in with my shadow. So I got an almost invisible shadow, just showing me the form of the shell as it's lying on the table, going like this. And then I have like it's getting more strong down here. But in a like a round shape. And then it's like the light is also covering up this area here. And I got some shading. I'm just looking at, I'm sorry for being so quiet. I'm sorry for being so quiet. I am focused on looking at the what my eyes are seeing. And then it's like this whole area here also got a very soft shade. In this direction, and then there is this soft shade up here. Yeah, I think I should let this dry. Funny enough, I also see some dark shading around here. Oh yeah, it's this one covering up. I think I should let what I have so far dry out completely, because you know, watercolor dries up a little bit lighter than you put them down. So giving myself a built-in drying session right now would be wise, to see if there are areas that needs to be strengthened up. So I'm gonna let this dry. Can you see these ridiculous highlights here? Like I view them a little bit different because I'm from a slanted angle, but it's like completely white, which means that I need to gray down elsewhere on my shelf to get the same illusion of something, you know, that are like round. So I'm coming in with it looks a little bit intimidating, but I'm gonna top it with some white to make it more milky. I'm coming in with some darker tones. And I think this is a good example on why it's nice to have the white pan in your toolbox, because sometimes you need like a dirty up white to enhance, especially highlights on white items that you're painting. So I'm trying to be very careful, coming in with a layer of the white, and then leaving the area alone that needs that white from the paper to be the highlight. It's like super white here, but then up here we have a twist. We also have it here. And in general, this up here is also blurred down. And I see some sort of stripes going on. I also see them up here and here. And this back part here also needs to be pushed back So I'm mixing a little bit of ochre into my white paint to kind of yellow it up a little bit. And then this area here got some line works, but I don't think I want to touch it with pencil lines. I think that line work in my sketch is not gonna have the same strength as on the real shell, so I'm just omitting the tiny line works that I can see. But you could go in with like a pencil and draw all the tiny lines if you wanted to. I just want to hint them a little bit, and that's it. I also feel that maybe this area here could have a different value, like this kind of dark color, just to show that it's a hollow big room that's funneling in the shape of this cone. Maybe make it stand out more like that. I think to get that radiant shiny highlight, that I want to go to some shimmery paint. And just sporadically get some shimmer. So I'm dragging out my Paul Rubens shimmer palette. And then I'm thinking about dropping in the shimmer in clusters. So not like painting with it directly, but just plotting it in clusters to the edge of where I feel that it should remain white. It doesn't take much, but just a little bit here and there. Yeah, I like this. I would actually call it done. I could go darker, you know, you could always put more mark making on, because it is a very colorful pattern that's going on just around here somewhere. And then see if I can blur it out a little bit. Yeah, I would simply call this done. I'm looking at the monitor. I'm not sure how much my gel pen will show up. But I'm gonna give it a try anyway. What about the white Derwent? How about a white pastel? There are some areas that I think could be shined out. Let's see. Oh, I forget that I have to talk. You know what, I'm basically done. I don't think that this white is showing up much. It's not like doing a lot. But I think, yeah, I should call this done. And with done, I literally mean done, because now that this was the last prompt in the World Watercolor Month for this year. It's been such fun. I really had a good time. Thank you guys for watching. I think it's a cute journal. I love everything about this little journal here. I love all my small little drawings. It just sparks joy to flip through it, so I'm gonna enjoy it. I don't even know which ones are the best. I don't want to rank them. I think all of them got their own kind of, yeah, kind of charm to it. So thanks for watching. I wish you a perfectly nice day. Bye bye.